Say this, any media person that I see in person for the rest of my life who try to tell me LeBron James is good as Michael Jordan, I'm just going to slap the hell out of him right on the spot. Right? No question asked. The next person who walks up to me and say, LeBron James, who is amazing, as good as Michael Jordan or competes like Michael Jordan, I'm just going to slap the hell out of you right on the spot. And I'm going to take my chances with the judicial system.
This podcast is sponsored by the ghost of King James. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm not a LeBron hater. By the way, welcome back to So Shameless. I just love Michael Jordan. I love what he stands for on the basketball court. I don't know about all the gambling and the pants. I don't know about the crying face. The basketball Michael Jordan I fucked with. And I do not like the comparisons with LeBron. And people saying LeBron is better. He got stats, this, that, and the other. Listen here. He's been to the chip too many times and left with his head down, crying. We need a crying LeBron face. From now on, we need a crying LeBron face. For everybody that's listening, don't turn off the podcast yet. It's going to be a good episode. Just let me get my little spiel out. I waited a long time for this. I have a special guest in the house. Now, the guest that I have is actually from South Africa. She has her name is No the Poet. And I've been trying to say it. Let me see my book. You got my book over here.
I do.
Nomxolisi?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't want to butcher it.
No. It's okay. The attempt is appreciated. Do you just want me to say it?
Please do.
Nomxolisi Ndlangana.
Oh my God, that was amazing. Can you do that again?
Yes. Nomxolisi Ndlangana.
What is that?
So the X in my name, that's the sound that it makes. When you see an X, that's the sound.
Interesting.
Yes.
Well, my name, I have an African name too. It's Swahili. My actual name, everybody calls me Tahoe, but my actual name is Sakai. And it means laughter in Swahili. I don't know how that happened because apparently I'm funny. I don't think I'm funny. But apparently that happened.
Well, look at that. See, I'm cracking up already.
It's been happening like all my life. Now, you are a author.
Yes.
What have you written?
Well, this is my first published works.
Mm-hmm.
Soul Vagina. I've been writing for forever, but this is like my first published piece of work.
How did you get to this point?
Well, I think really it is the universe conspiring to have something happen for you that needs to be happening because I've been writing for forever. And then, 2 years ago, my current manager came up to me and he was like, you should write a book. And I was like, oh, funny you should say that. Because I've been already writing for forever. So it was just a case of deciding what kind of book I wanted to write and then going into my archives to sort of put the book together.
Mm-hmm. Now, the book is poems.
Yes, it's a poetry compilation.
Wait, have we said the name of the book?
I don't think we have.
Did we?
I dropped a little bit of it, but the name of the book is called Soul Vagina, In Between Sex and God, Who Am I?
In Between Sex and God, Who Am I? Mm-hmm. Very interesting. So is it that like at my most clean versus my dirtiest? Like, what does that mean?
You know what? I've never been asked that way. No, it is. It's really it's an exploration about religious and spirituality versus the very act that sex is, because sometimes those two, they're separated in our society. If you're religious and spiritual, you almost can't completely enjoy sex the way that, sex is raunchy.
Like Jews.
It's dirty.
Like they separate that shit like a motherfucker. I don't know how. You have it through a sheet. Could you do that? I couldn't even do that.
So I grew up Catholic, so there's that religious aspect, but also as I've developed as an individual separate from the church, I've kind of played around with the idea of, well, what is what is that? Why is it that, we take sex away from spirituality and religiousness and we make it into something ugly when it's not within those confines of religious and spirituality?
I think sex isn't that. I think fucking is that. Because making love is actually somewhat spiritual. It can be connected to a spirituality in a sense when you have that connection with somebody, right? Like that sex is different than you just making emotionless sex or just going through the means or something like that. So maybe one of the things is baseless, and the other one could be spiritual in a sense.
But I think it's interesting that you said that, because I think you get to define what it is, what sex is for you, whatever situation you're in. You get to decide what this is. Now, if you don't feel good about yourself, if you have a low self-esteem, you might then deduce that, okay, this interaction that is sexual with this person is just another confirmation of me being this dirty little slut. In that same situation, if you feel good about yourself, if you're confident in who you are, if you know who you are, then it's just, I'm here having a moment, a beautiful, intimate, sexual moment with this person. Same situation. It's just, depending on who you are, the perception then changes.
That's crazy, because two people can be having sex at the same time with each other for two completely different reasons.
Having two different experiences.
Having two different experiences.
Yeah. And the book gets into that.
Sex can be an itch, a scratch. Was it a scratch?
Yeah.
Scratching an itch?
Yeah.
Sex can be confirmation of some sort of
you read the book.
Conquest. No, I didn't. I'm just thinking of myself.
Oh, there's literally
I've
something about an itch and a scratch in that. So that's just funny that you said that. Yeah.
A conquest. What are the different things that sex can be? What do you think? Let's say for men, I would assume that men and women experience it the same, but then they have things that are kind of one thing that men actually do all the time and something that women do all the time. What are those things?
I think that's actually something that might be my next project. I would have to interview men, because I can only speak from a woman's point of view. From a woman's point of view, I mean, it could be, it could be fucking. It could be just like, I wanted to orgasm, and that's just it. And that's okay too. Like, we can't make that wrong, which is what happens to women specifically. Men do it all the time, but when a woman does it, it's wrong. All of a sudden, there's something wrong with you. You're this. You're called all kinds of names. But yes, we're allowed to utilize sex for purely pleasure. And, it doesn't have to be attached to, oh my God, okay, now you have to be my boyfriend or this. No, we're allowed to just experience a beautiful, pleasurable moment where they're two, respecting partners, and then walk away from that. And that's okay. There's something to be gotten from an experience like that, by the way.
I agree in a sense. The thing is, when you've had... No, everybody isn't on the same page. All women aren't on the same page.
Absolutely.
All men aren't on the same page.
Yes.
And then men and women are on like 7 different pages.
Yes.
So
maybe different hemispheres.
And then how you have sex, or the reasoning you have sex, does say something about you. To me, it also says something about your experiences. It says something about where you're going, how you view yourself, how you view the person, and how you view the act. And if you're really in tune with why you're doing something, why you're here, then you're going to want to examine the other person as well. So if a woman is telling me she's just having sex to have sex, I'm going to say you were hurt, or you might have just been in a relationship. You don't want to be in a relationship right now. That brings that question up for me. Like, why are you just living like that right now? And you could just be like, yo, listen, I'm about my money right now. I got kids. I ain't got time for this, that, and the other.
Right.
Matter of fact, you just look like you could fuck, and you don't look like a good boyfriend. So I just want to experience you, and that's it. Because I've definitely had that said to me before, and it was almost insulting.
Talk about it.
It was somewhat insulting. You're like, really? That's it? You just gonna chew me out and spit me out, huh? Chew me and spit me out. Okay.
Well, welcome to a woman's world.
Men. Why do men have random sex? What do you think?
Gee, I don't know. I should be asking you. I don't. Listen, there's a lot of reasons why men do that. I mean, it's just maybe they just want to fuck, or I mean this.
Why? Why do you think that men can completely separate the act from the spiritual side? Like, that has to mean something about how we view sex or how we view ourselves, just as much as I would say it does something for women. So, like, for me, it's just sex is a thing. It's just sex is a thing for me when it comes to men. I don't know why it's different for us.
What do you mean?
I don't have to be. I can have sex with a wet paper towel.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay. Mm-hmm.
I can literally have sex with a chick I just met tonight, and it could look like anything. I'm drunk. It's 3:40 a.m. and I'm horny. And you know what? Big Bertha over there is with the shit. I'm going to knock her ass down. I don't even have to know her name. I don't even have to. I'll give her the wrong number in the morning. It was that, and that's it.
Right.
I don't see that being a trait that women do per se like that. I don't know. I'm not judging them. I'm not judging y'all based on it, but it's something I see more men doing and just being able to do it, move away, no problem. And that's it. Is that something that you think women can do? Just have sex randomly and just go about their business?
Yes, but I think we just do it a little bit differently than men. Mm-hmm. But yeah, women can definitely do that. Women can definitely do that.
So Soul Vagina. Mm-hmm. When we talk about Soul Vagina, and you've had other interviews, and I listened to one of your interviews, and in one of them, it was like the entrance to your soul. Like the vagina is... You explain Soul Vagina, please. You explain it, because I'm going to sit here and stumble over my words.
Well, so you want me to explain the title, right?
Please.
Okay, so Soul Vagina. Well, okay, it's kind of layered. So first of all, the reason why it's even called Soul Vagina is because I want people in general to not be afraid or feel some kind of way about saying the word vagina. Mm-hmm. Because, we're more comfortable with the word pussy, and because that's all over rap videos and whatever, and social media and media in general. But the minute
it's important for me. It's important for me. I learned that. I love porn, but yeah.
Right. Or porn. But vagina, for some reason, is, people
like,
still...
Nobody says, fuck my vagina.
Right. Like, people still kind of cringe when they say the title, it's like, oh, your book is called Soul Vagina. It's like, vagina, yes. That is actually a biological term, and I think if we're able to say the word, then that is like beginning to own our bodies as women, and also lessen just make us less of like a thing. When you say pussy, the context is very much, it's almost demeaning in a way sometimes. Mm-hmm. But when you say vagina, there's really it's a vagina, it's a penis, it's a breast, it's it's all the same. And then the second,
so you're taking away the vile connotation.
Yes, absolutely.
To your physical part.
Yes, right. Absolutely. Like, own that shit. You have a vagina, and so what?
By the way, vagina and penis are probably two of the worst words in the English language. Just sounding.
Oh, sounding.
Just like, why did they have to do so much? I don't understand why they had to do so much. Could you come lick my vagina? It's just like,
right. I know, right? But you see how you are. You're just like, I don't know. But if I say, can you come lick my pussy? That's a different story.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
So
but
yeah,
you're sexying up the word. I mean, I understand.
Yeah, and then also, for a woman, the vagina, it's something that's internal. It's inside of us. And what's inside of us, important things such as your soul and your heart. Like, these are vital things that are part of you, and your vagina is in there somewhere. So the book is really, I want to get into what a woman is, hence Soul Vagina.
What is the content? Like, if you were to describe the book, what exactly, I know it's about the soul vagina, but what is it? Is it it's poems, right?
Yeah. So really, this is a friend of mine years ago once said when she read one of my pieces, well, she's been reading a couple of my pieces, and she said, you know, what you do is you take a 5-year relationship and you synthesize it into a single poem. And a single poem is like, 3-4 minutes. And that's what I do. It's really an entire relationship, the ups and downs, the in-betweens, but also I focus on a moment in that relationship, and I'm able to portray everything that could possibly go wrong and right in a 5-year relationship into a single poem. And I use sex as a medium to talk about it.
Wow. Okay. When you're saying you use sex as a medium to talk about it,
Yes.
Would you like to tell us one of your poems? Would you like to recite one?
Absolutely.
I'd like to hear it because I want the listeners to understand exactly what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
definitely. Okay, so I'll do a piece called A Love Inquiry. There really is no way to start a conversation like this. So if you need to order a drink or take a piss, I suggest you take a second before I begin this. Because once I go, not even God's hand can stop this flow. I commonly populate stages, but this is no show, because Nona don't do shows. I prefer to epitomize and personify poetry and its jarring beauty, and for you to understand the frenzy, I have to take you back to Thursday night at the pantry. When he got so close to me, he could smell the sex sweating out my pores. I was perspiring lust. He'd been so good to me for so long, marinated my thighs with his drool and prepping me for the ultimate ride, and like tithes he gave to me, like he believed that I would be the one to save his soul from the empty hordes of birds that circled his dock. Now, I have been everything under a man's hand. But with his hands pressed firmly against my chest, thou must confess, I have never been loved or fucked before until I met this man. He infected me with his lovemaking and morphed his body into a cure, affecting me like some spiritual lore. I was sure he was some god sent to resurrect a part of me I thought had died after countless nights of unforgiving loneliness, and Lord, he crippled with his sexiness. But this time I had no inclination to fight the vortex that palpitated only for his dong. I let him take his time. As I grew into a restless beast that swore to do just as he pleased, just please ease that thing into me. And by thing, I mean you. Ease that beast into me. And if I scream, don't you dare seize. Not until my slit has split into white seas, you see. It wasn't his hardness, suctioned by thy pussy highness. No, it's how he sang love songs with his cock as his hands kneed into my skin, searching for symptoms of arousal. How he spilled dark secrets with back-flexing, complex, stigmatizing injections. My body was split into sections of explorations to be bruised by affections. Skin wet from tongue surging, he covered all ground. Came around, touched down, 2, 3. Ooh, wee, baby. 4 times I cried, stifled by this black revelation. He liked me. He loved me. And it wasn't enough to just fuck me. He pined to wake up with me, to talk about nothing and everything in between as we cooled down by the morning breeze. I wanted his dick to live inside of me. I mean, like, occupy my vaginal space on a permanent basis. For this jock, I even wrote a song. I know the universe created you for my womb. So can you dig, can you dig, can you dig? Live inside of me. Say, can you dig, can you dig, can you dig? Oh, baby. Live inside of me. By this time, I'd lost my goddamn mind. But that's all right, because when a man happens you the way that he did, you've got to slowly pull down your panties and respond to the love inquiry with the same amount of attention and honesty. Once I had recovered what I did, well, there's no room in part 1 for what I did. Now part 2, well, you're going to have to follow me for that.
Yo. First of all, her at name is Nonxolisi. Nono the poet, right? On all social media platforms. If you exploded inside just now, you must follow her and you must let her know that you were affected. That was sex. That was spiritual sex. That was verbal orgasm. That was verbal lovemaking. That is what I aspire to be. When I enter a woman, that is what I aspire to do. That is what. And this reaction that I have is what I want her to think when I'm done. I want her to lay there. What just happened?
It's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do.
You. I'm not hard. I am aroused. Not my dick. Not my soul. I am aroused.
Yes.
I feel it.
Yes.
I feel it.
Yes. Yes.
How did you do that? How did you know? I get it now. When a woman, you did this to me. This is what how did you do that? How did you know my body in that way? After you've never been with me before. How did you do that to me? No. How did you do that? How do you write that? How do you laugh at the perfect moment on beat, sing, grab me? You grabbed me. I need water.
Oh my God.
I need air.
Hilarious. I can't breathe.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'll tell you one thing. For you to experience something like that, you need to be vulnerable. That's the only way it happens. You have to be vulnerable. You have to completely be naked, and not in the physical sense. You have to just let every guard down and just completely surrender yourself to this person.
I think that's one of the most hardest things for anybody to do.
Which is why you don't get it a lot.
To actually let go and face your fears, face your demons.
Yes.
To really dig into who you are beyond what you think you want or who you think you want to be, to see who you really are. That's not easy. You got to get into your weakest points, your weakest moments to do that. But you verbalize it. How do you go about writing in that fashion and being able to bring that out from people?
I would say it's a gift for sure, because for one, I've never had a man kind of give me the experiences that I write about. These are just like divine,
Why not? What do you think is lacking?
I mean, I've had like really deep and intense, amazing sexual experiences, but not in the same way that I write about it, And I just don't think I've found somebody
that hurt.
No,
that hurt, and I feel sorry for whoever has had sex with her before. I'm sorry.
I know, right?
I know how you feel right now, brother. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. I'm sorry. Continue.
It's like a curse and a blessing, because it's like here you are having these like amazing experiences in real life, but then you're writing about this stuff and you're like, wow, so it can actually be this good.
It can go that far.
Okay, gotta go.
Right.
It's been real. No.
When life needs to imitate art, right? It's a necessity at this point. I'm glad that we have recorded that. Men, we need to do better. That if you aren't doing that to your woman, my nigga, you can get your shit together. She did that in 3 minutes. So all you 2-minute niggas, you could do some shit in 2 minutes, my nigga. You underdig. Okay. What goes into you writing a project like that? Like, how do you know where you want to start, right? And then how do you know when it's done? So
I know, okay, how do I know I want to start? Well, the way this book came about was, I was given an idea, you should write a book. So I already, most of the stuff in this book, I had already written over the years. So I just had to kind of like comb through my work to kind of put the whole book together. And it's not like I'm writing like a novel or anything. It's just me picking pieces and then filling it with new ones. And when do you know it's done? You just know. There are just some things that cannot be explained. And that's why I feel like it's really a gift, because I cannot explain what I do. Like, I can't tell you, well, you need to A, B, C, D. And no, it's a feeling that I get. And by the time I'm finished writing a piece, I myself have to kind of go back to see what I wrote, because it's almost like an out-of-body experience for me. I just pour myself into it. I'm just like, oh, wow, this is what came out.
Right.
That's what it's like.
That was, I want to say LeBron-esque.
I'll take it.
Sasha Fierce.
That was Sasha Fierce. These poems come from somewhere. What do they mean to you? What do you have poems in your book that actually mean something personally to you more than the others, more than art? Like, say if I were to write something about my grandma or something like that actually comes from somewhere. Is there something in there that actually meant something to you on that level? And which one would it be and why? I'm going to use your book. There's one piece in here that is completely personal. It's, yeah. All right, I was trying to find the page number. It's called Made of Men. And I wrote that one, that one is for me, and I have a hard time performing it in public because it's so personal to me. That would be like unhooking my bra right now and just be like, hello. That's a lot.
Yeah. So if you read, when you read Made of Men, it's you'll see that it's about women feeling like they are the maids of men, taking care of them, being there, like we exist to make sure that they're okay.
I was speaking about this the other day on the internet. I'm big on Twitter, just talking a lot of shit, right? And I think I said this recently in one of these episodes. I don't be remembering the shit I be talking about, just flowing. But women really do take the fuck care of us. Like y'all, and I did say this in the episode, y'all are nurturers by just nature. It's what y'all do. And I don't know what men are by nature for women. Do we pillage? Do we prey? Are y'all just like deer? Like, even if you look at the lion in the jungle, the woman gets the food. She takes care of the fucking kids. What the fuck is the male lion doing? He's just sitting there. Is that what we are as a species? Do we sit there? When you think about naturally, what women do naturally, what the female species does naturally, give birth, get the food, feed the kids, make them turn over if they laying on their side, they don't want them, whatever. Y'all just watch us. The kids, the elders, the men, it's what y'all do. Y'all are life. And I really don't know what the fuck we do. So this is why as a man, it's really going to take us a lot, because we're supposed to be a more intelligent species, right? It's going to take us a lot of work to actually catch up to what y'all do. And actually make you feel appreciated. It does happen. It has happened. I have seen couples where a woman is very happy with the amount of attention that her man gives her, the amount of respect and thoughtfulness and consideration that her man treats her with. And because you guys do it naturally, it's not like work. But when you look at how far, if you got to do 80 and all he's doing is 20, it's like, come on, my nigga. Like, and you're still complaining?
Right.
You worried about why the food ain't, nigga, it's food in the joint. You ain't do nothing. You just say, oh, I was working. Nigga, I was at work too. So it's, when we think about that, but I'm gonna tell you something. Now, I told you that this was gonna be a nervous thing for me, right? For you, us.
Yeah, you did say that. You
The
did.
reason why I said it is because I've written some things. I've written some poetry, right? And I have one that I pulled to the side that I want to share with you.
Yes.
But I've never said it before.
Okay.
I actually used to host spoken word shows with song and dance, and I would have a musician in the crowd. And I would just host because I'm super stage fright, right?
Really?
But one day I was at work, and I don't know what I was going through. It wasn't something I meant to do. I was working. I'm a garbage man, so I'm just picking up the bags, and I just had this energy inside of me, something that needed to be said, something that needed to get out. And it was like it started somewhere, and after I started saying it, another line came, and another line came, and I wouldn't forget it. It just kept going.
Right.
And so I started writing it down between the bags. My friend is like, why you keep got your phone out? My partner is like, why you keep got your phone out? Because I got to write these thoughts down. And I wind up coming up with these thoughts. Now, it's nothing like that, right? I almost said I'm not going to do it because that is like, you got to come behind that? Like, what the fuck? But
it's all
I
love.
do.
It's all love.
I do want to say it, so I'm going to say it.
Damn right. Do
Let me
it.
find this thing. All right. So I put it on the internet and like months ago, but whatever. It's called Questions.
Okay.
I feel so inadequate now. Like I feel like
my God.
like she backed her big ass dick out and put it on the table. It's like, now you. My shit ain't even hard. I don't know how these guys in porn do it. You go after Mandingo? Now I know what it's like to go after Mandingo. You know what? I don't want to smoke. All right, let me try this thing.
Listen to my words.
Yeah.
It's all love.
Okay.
It's all love.
I'm sweating. You know you're nervous when your ass is sweating. You feel that little trickle go down your ass cheek? You like, damn. This has never happened before. Am I wet? What the fuck? All right. God damn it. Here we go.
I can't believe you.
I'm so... Jesus. All
I'm
right.
so intrigued. Please.
Right. Well, and then I'll tell you why I'm doing it right now, because I haven't asked a question. Sometimes I wonder, am I enough? Do I do too little, or do I do too much? As a black man, am I really as bad as the world makes me seem? Have I done my part to become part of MLK's dream? Do I deserve to be shot face down in the streets because I bop to hip-hop with a beat that they can't see? My face is always screwed up. What does it mean? Is it some dark part of my heart? Is it fear that I'm too weak? Should I be in fear every day of my daughter's innocence? She's 16. Should I be afraid of the world, or should the world be afraid of me? Do I work hard enough? Do I really need more sleep? Do I fail at my relationships because of my love to tweet? Do I have less friends because I'm not that friendly? Or is it really because my friends aren't friends to me? Maybe it's me, I don't know, but these are the answers that I seek. And I look up into the sky, wonder if God will answer me. Knowing I've sinned in my life makes the questions hard to speak. So my chest gets tight and fear makes it hard to breathe. Have I hurt too many women in life? Am I the beast that hunts? Or am I the victim to being what they want? Am I the prey, or is it they? I don't know, but I can't front. The way I am with women kind of reminds me of free lunch. My sons are autistic. Sometimes I can't help but think like, damn, is this my penance? Was this part of God's plan? On holidays, I go to Granny house to sit with the fam, but I wonder, when they look at me, do they only see the crook in me? Were they ever disappointed that the judge didn't throw the book at me? Of course not, but still, I can't help but feel that chill. I'm waiting for the reveal in every relationship in my life. Guess why I'm 42 and I have yet to find a wife? Am I too tough, or am I too scarred? I can't help but think. Am I too much or not enough? God, send me a link. Because all the things I ever ask of you, you already gave me. And now I see I ain't need none of that shit. Was you trying to play me? I walk around in this tough shell like nothing can faze me. But the shell became my prison. I need help. Somebody save me. I have questions, God. Is it okay? Or should I save them for when I see you on Judgment Day? I have questions, God. Is it okay? Or should I just wait until I see you on Judgment Day? So that was my shit. That was my story. Right? now I feel like I cheated her because she deserved a standing ovation. If I got claps, yeah, she deserved it. And I know everybody's like, Tahoe, stop.
No.
Everybody's listening like, Tahoe, stop, just stop. No, not right now, It's bad timing.
No, not even. No, that is like a black man's plight. That's important. That is a black man's plight.
So the reason I decided to say it right now is because I asked you, do any of these things come from a place where it really means something, right? Mm-hmm. Those things is all the things that was in my heart. That shit really was bothering me. Like all of these thoughts that I was having about my family, about life, about where I stand, and what's the meaning, and am I doing enough? Do I sleep too fucking much? Like, do I need to do more? Where's my daughter? Do I need to talk to her more? Like,
right.
Maybe I need to go to my family's house more. Maybe I need to let them know I still love them. And you know what I mean? Like, it was just all of these thoughts that I was having for whatever fucking reason. I think it was around the holidays, but that's how it came out, right? And I'm not a writer or nothing like that, but it was just something that came out at the time, mm-hmm. which is why I asked you, where does the need to write come from? What happens to you when you say, you know what, I'm in that zone?
I'm in a constant state of that zone.
Mm.
Writing for me is like breathing. It really is. Like, it's kept me alive. It saved my life. And I mean, I'm blessed to have like amazing friends and a great support system. But there is something I get from writing that there's not a single human being that could ever give that to me. When I'm alone and it's just me, my thoughts, and myself, writing is just there. It's always there. It could be like one line and I'm satisfied. I could literally have a line in my head, write it down, and I'm good. Like, I feel good. I feel something that I know nobody could ever give to me but writing.
You are in a relationship?
No.
Is it because you're searching for
No, I'm not searching for anything. I stopped looking. I stopped searching.
Which is good, which is actually very healthy.
Yeah, now I'm living completely. I'm just living completely, and what may come will come. That's how I've always ended up in relationships. That's how I've not been in relationships. So I'm just, I'm not stressing myself about anything like that.
You said no man can ever give. You speak about not sex. Mm-hmm. You speak about a connection between sex, you, and the other person. Mm-hmm. There is a linear line that must go from your soul through sex to you, or to explain how you feel. How can you verbalize such feelings but yet not feel the need for that actual connection with a person at this point in your life?
I can compartmentalize.
Is that healthy? Compartmentalizing.
Yeah, I mean, I should be able to have a sexual conversation with you without having to have sex with you.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Wanting the need to have sex with you, and I think that's healthy. I think I can have a deep, honest, authentic conversation with you about sex where we get really, really honest. Like, you might even tell me how big your dick is. That's a really personal question.
I started smiling. I don't know if I was blushing. I was like...
Right, but I should be able to have a conversation like that with you. And the only reason we can have a conversation like that is if we both respect each other. And there has to be some level of trust that I know that you're not going to take advantage of whatever it is that I'm saying. You're going to take it at face value and then move on from that. If we're then trying to have a different kind of conversation, then that's the conversation that we have. Okay, so now this is where I'm at. I think I like you. Like, then we start moving away from that. Then that's a different conversation. But you can I think there's nothing wrong with compartmentalizing. We're all human beings just trying to figure it out.
Are you free sexually? And if you are, what does it mean to be free sexually for Nono?
Well, I'm not sure how you're asking it, so I'll answer it. Unless you want to clarify, I'll answer it however I see fit.
I'll answer it however you see fit.
Okay.
And then if I need to addendum,
Okay.
I will.
Yes, I'm free sexually. What does that mean for me? It means that if I so choose to have sex with you, I understand my value. And I know that if I'm choosing to give my body to you, I know the gold that I'm offering you. Whether this may happen for a week or a year or 10 years, it doesn't diminish my value as a human being, as a woman. And if I'm doing that, I know that I want to experience the height of whatever sexual experience that I could possibly have with you. And for me to do that, I need to let go. And so I let go.
You did answer the question very well.
Oh, good. Perfect.
The part B to that is that I feel as if women, I'm sorry, I have a problem saying it.
Okay. Sure.
I know what it means. It's just the flow. It's just like, women, I have to think about it. Women are made to feel a way about being free sexually.
Yeah.
Right? We kind of spoke about it already.
Yeah, we touched on that.
But do you think that what do you think goes on in a man's head if a woman just wants to, like I said earlier, you're just going to chew me up and spit me out? What do you think is that about? Like, and is there a way for women to make a man okay with just having a free sexual relationship without the thought that she may need him?
I think
in
you
some
need
fashion?
an entire show for that. That question was like, seriously, that's an entire show.
Sorry.
Jesus.
It was heavy?
Yeah, because there's like so many ways I can go with that. Like when you heard that, Beth, what did you like? Wasn't that a lot?
Yep. I'm thinking she's gonna get up.
I know, right?
So
yeah, but you see how that was? It's just like it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
Is it men being insecure?
I mean, instances are so different. Yes, that's definitely that.
I was talking to a friend.
Yeah, and sometimes like I think men want you. They have this unrealistic expectation of women. You know, they literally. So there's that whole, you know, that they want to freak on the sheet in the sheets and whatever, lady in the streets. What does that look like exactly for you as a man? And by the way, it's different for different men because men, they'll want you to do A, B, C, D, E, F, and then also do this, and it's just like, so tell me exactly how do you expect me to like be all that? It's sometimes I feel like men have an unrealistic expectation about women.
It's just to be clear, women in the streets freaking the sheets is a woman that dresses up corporate wise, heels, all of that, but under it she got a butt plug in. Under it her nipples are fucking pierced. You can't see it. You can't see it. The average person can't see it, but when she takes off that dress, her lingerie was on point and she done had a butt plug in all day and she's ready to go. Only for you. Though.
Right.
I believe that's what it is. But to move forward, I was talking to a friend. And she has money. She has a lot of money. And she doesn't feel like she needs men anymore. It's as if because there is her financial security is taken care of at this point, what are men but toys? And the men in her life feel somewhat inadequate as to being a man to her because she don't really need you. She's born into some bread and some real bread, and she has her own business and she has her own buildings and she has her own this and that. So as far as men, it's like they get angry or offended easily with her because she doesn't have that sense of I need you.
Right.
In my life. Is a woman in your mind only attracted to men based on what he can do for her?
No, yes and no.
Sorry,
Because
I didn't mean to come loaded like this.
no,
I
love it. I love it.
I do this. I have a tendency to do that.
Yeah, I heard about you.
Sorry.
I heard about you. No, so I think, listen, you know, when I explain to people why women want men with money, yes, sometimes it's very superficial. It's just like you want to buy a nice bag. You want him to be able to buy you a nice bag. But really, the deeper part of it is that women want to be taken care of. They want to feel safe. They want to feel safe. And a man with money can take care of you. So it's really like a protection thing more than anything. Yeah, total security. So in that sense, yeah, you know, men with money are attractive because of that. They could be like, you know, quote unquote ugly, but but if they have money, then you just feel like, okay, they can take care of me, and that is attractive to women. But I will say though, with your friend, this is a game that we have to play as women. I don't want to say game, but it's like, you know, relationships are a give and take. You know, you're always giving something up if you're in a relationship. And something that you would have to give up as a woman who is successful with money and can take care of herself. Men still want to feel like they are needed, that they can take care of you.
Right.
So as a woman, you need to make them feel like...
Why? Why?
Why?
No, I agree.
I
agree, but I want a woman to be able to say why that's necessary for a woman, because at the end of the day, that's going to point to a man. They're gonna say it's a man being insecure. Why do I need to make him feel that way? Why can't he own where he is in this relationship? Why do I have to do that?
Because there are certain things that as a woman that I want too from you as a man. I don't necessarily. Yeah, I'm an independent woman. Okay, I take care of everything in my life, and I can do anything that I need to survive. But I do want you to take out the trash. It's just like an unspoken thing that I would want in a relationship, where it's just like, you know, that's your little thing as a man. Like, don't worry about that. I got that, babe. Like, you know, you sit there and be pretty. Independent, strong women still want that. They still want that. Joe Scott said it. I could kill a spider, but I want you to do it. That's the point.
Scott, the
you know.
No, that's a homie. I love her.
Yeah. Yes. Love her.
I lost track of thought because I'm old. It happens because I was so ready to keep going, but I lost track of thought. And I know when I go back to listen, I'm like, damn, that's what I was thinking. I hate when I do that. Huh? Nah, she's fine.
He's listening, so he.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm up and down and as we go. Shout out to her manager. What's your name, bro? Phoenix. M. Phoenix